Yo, what is up, homies? My name is Devin, and today I'm going to be breaking down a few problems that I have come across as a trans man when it comes to hormonal care. But before I get into that, make sure if you're new here, and not subscribed, you go ahead and press the subscribe button down below to help my channel grow. If you are interested in losing weight, gaining muscle, even recomping, and you're interested in working together, go ahead and send me an email at devondoescoaching@gmail.com, which will also be linked down below. So I do want to preface this with saying, obviously, there's not a problem with trans people taking hormones. I'm a trans man and I take hormones, right? And I've done so for coming up on 4 years, if I'm not mistaken, in November. I'm more so going to be getting into the clinical side of things and things that I wish that providers would take more agency on when it comes to giving healthcare to trans individuals, more so within the realm of testosterone, okay? The biggest issue is that most trans masculine individuals do not know where their testosterone level should be. I have several homies, several clients come to me and I ask them for their test results and they don't know how to decipher the information. They don't know what their testosterone level should be in. I have some people come to me and they're in the low 300s, which is a very low testosterone level for someone who wants to, essentially their goal in transitioning is to feel, function, and be seen as a cis male. If that's what your goal is out of testosterone therapy, being in the low 300s is going to be bare fucking minimum, right? That's essentially the testosterone levels of an older man, like a 50, 60, 70-year-old man. I will say there is nuance there, right? So if you are at risk of cardiovascular stress, if you have high blood pressure, anything cardiovascular issue related, then yes, you should not be at the higher range of testosterone. But if you're a young person and your goal is to transition fully to male, being in the 200s, 100s, 300s, it's not going to really cut it. You should be at least in the 400 range in order to be functioning properly, right? And that means for your energy levels, feel the full effects of the anabolic properties of testosterone. There's just multiple things that go into the hormone that you're taking, and not understanding what range you should be in is simply not going to cut it. Now, I've also had people come to me and I review their test results and they're in 900, 1000, 1100, 1200 nanograms per deciliter. Holy freaking crap. That is too much testosterone. So the same way that there's issues with being on the lower end of testosterone, there's even more issues with being on the higher end of testosterone. To name a few of those issues, it's going to be high blood pressure is major because testosterone does cause your platelet level to increase. So your blood essentially becomes thicker. You'll be at risk for a stroke, heart attack. You should not be blasting your face off when it comes to 1000 nanograms per deciliter of testosterone, right? So when you get your labs done, talk to your doctor and be like, am I within range, doc? Does everything look normal to you? Where should I be at? You have to sort of advocate for yourself so that you are sure that you're on the right path when it comes to this medicine, because I understand that we view this as a very emotional and social thing, but there's also a science aspect that goes into this and it's very data driven. And if you're not in the loop of what the fuck is going on with your body, then there's no way to make sure that you're on the right track. I do wish that providers were a little bit more insightful and did take it upon themselves to offer their patients more information when it comes to their blood work. The next thing that I wish that hormone service providers did do for us trans mass guys or individuals, explain how dosages work. Too many fucking times do I get clients or do I get homies telling me, well, I'm taking 0.1 ml, I'm taking 0.2 mLs. That is not a fucking dosage. Always refer to your testosterone levels in terms of milligrams. This is super simple. Most of us do receive that 200 milligram vial of testosterone cypionate, right? So if your dosage is 0.2, you're drawing up 0.2 mLs of a 200 milligram vial. That means your dosage is 40 milligrams. It's really literally quick math. Whatever your dosage is in ml, you're gonna go ahead and multiply that by the dosage of the vial, and that lets you know what your true dosage is, okay? This next thing kind of grinds my gears. I can kind of see the service provider's standpoint on this, but ultimately I think that it gives us unnecessary dysphoria. Maybe I'm being sensitive, I don't know, but that's when service providers use female reference ranges when referring to our lab results. Like, I know Planned Parenthood does this. I've yet to come across a provider who doesn't do this, so maybe this is just so they could make the distinction that we're AFAB. I'm not sure, but if you're looking at a testosterone reference range and they're referring to us in terms of female levels, it's gonna read high. For myself, my testosterone level is around 600, like 630 nanograms per deciliter, which is perfectly fine. That's perfectly average, but because I'm AFAB and they're assigning my test levels as a person who's AFAB, it says that my testosterone levels are high. So that's not a problem for me because I know what the average testosterone level level is. I do wish that service providers could maybe make a distinction that yes, we are AFAB, but our testosterone levels are not high in reference to cis men, because I do think that's an important distinction to make. Ultimately, nobody wants to log in and see like female. Like, holy shit, I get it, bro. Like, I'm reminded of that fairly often. I don't need to log into my lab results and see female, but I kind of understand. I'm not trying to be a sensitive snowflake, so I see both sides. I just wish there was a middle ground to be met, essentially. If there's anything that you wish that service providers gave us more insight on or a heads up on, please drop that in the comment section down below, because I would love to have your perspective and your opinion. If you disagree with anything I've said here and you feel like, you know, providers do not owe us any explanation when it comes to anything and it's all on our own accord to do that research, then let me know, because I'm interested to know if anybody disagrees with me and if I'm doing too much. If you are interested in one-on-one coaching, go ahead and email me. It's going to be down below. I'm also going to be linking my website where you can find my dumbbell only training plan, which is great if you're someone who's training from home with limited equipment. That'll be down below, as well as my high protein cookbook, which is chef's kisses. I wouldn't fucking lie to you. And like I always say, Devon loves you, Devon's a Don, and Devon is out of here, boy.